Hi everyone. Welcome to yet another session of. Actually, this is the first session of personal portfolio building workshop. So we have here the Tech Take team with Kanika and Akanksha. They are going to take over the stage now. Go on.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. On behalf of TechTech community, I would like to welcome Mr. Praveen. He will give a brief intro about himself as it is very important to know your mentor. Yeah.
Okay. Superb. So, hi everyone. So I'm Praveen. I'm originally from Chennai, India. Okay. So, I let me speak little slowly now. I already got a comment saying like speak slowly. Okay. So I'm Praveen Kumar from Chennai, India, the southern part of India. So I'm here in London, England, and I'm working as a full stack web developer. And today we are going to full stack web developer. As a full stack web developer, what I do is I create like a websites which is completely user friendly as well as it is mission friendly. Like for example, you take input and you process it and you do a lot of things. So there is a lot of creativity involved in it, and there are like so many things are there. So as I say, I'm a full stack developer. Then let me actually show you my website, how it looks. And technically what we are going to do is at the end, we will be building a website, which is your personal portfolio, which is based out of Bootstrap. And that's what everyone uses, right? So we are going to do that. And it's going to be very much interactive. So I want every one of you, if you have any questions, you got to ask me. Okay. That is first thing. And apart from that, everyone, I believe everyone knows what GitHub is. So all the code will be in GitHub. And if you don't know, please ask any questions. Akanksha and Kanika will take up the questions and let me know. They will be in the back end and background, and they will be like pestering me with all the questions and other things. So that is going to be awesome. And how many of you like are interested in creating your own portfolio from scratch? This is for you. So today's session will be on my channel, and tomorrow's session will be on TechTake's channel. So just bear that in mind. And yeah, once that is done, we will also look into um, try to create something awesome and then send it over to me so that we can look into how great it is. And yeah, so the TechTake team will also tell what are all the goodies you might get at the end of the session. Go on.
TechTech is a community built for college students so that we can work together and develop a skill set. It's a community for all the young minds who are enthusiastic about technology and development. So we'll be having a lot of multiple, skill-oriented hackathons, programming challenges, webinars, sessions, and all. And you all are invited. If you haven't yet subscribed or joined our channel, feel free. We'll be sharing the links in the comment section. Do join us for this event and what multiple events coming up in the future. We'll be sharing the feedback forms and the incentives. As you all know, you will be learning the basics of all HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, and you'll be having your own portfolio, which I think is a major incentive today and tomorrow. So join us for the session, and Akansha will take up now.
Yeah, having said that, we will be handling the next fruitful hours over to him, and we hope that you all make the most of it from this session as well as from his experience. Now, I would like to
Yeah.
go on.
So I'll
Yeah,
present your
so
screen and let's start with it.
Sure.
yeah,
Let me first set up a few things. Yeah, and one more thing is, yes, don't forget to press the subscribe button and subscribe to Tekera as well. So Tekera will be hosting tomorrow. So at that point of time, you have to subscribe their channel as well. Okay, now without further delay, I'm just gonna share the screen, and I hope everyone is able to see my screen. And these two people have gone in the background. Can you both make some noise, like both of you?
Yes, sir, we are here only.
yes, sir,
They're
we are
they're
here.
they're still here. Okay,
Yeah.
so you will be hearing them as voice, and you will be watching this face. I'm sorry about it. So they didn't want their face to be displayed. So that's something that happened. So yeah. So here we are. Like this is. Let me start with a quick introduction of. Okay, I keep saying I'm a full stack developer, right? And what is going to be the outcome of this session? So this is my website. This is how it looks like, and this is completely based on Bootstrap. And there is a small introduction section. First thing is there is a huge banner which says hey, I'm Praveen Kumar. I'm doing a lot of the different things. So starting from front-end enthusiast, then there is web developer, evangelist. We have like cloud computing, mentoring, blah 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 blah. So what all things that I generally do, I just put them in a small, like a running text. And apart from that, I have got like like all my social items. And a lot of people have commented out, like I just recently started my YouTube channel and it is really good, I hope. So yeah, why don't you put your YouTube channel on the website as well? So I just created this small thing which comes out and stays there. And so I did this. So we will be learning out on how we can do something like this similarly. Okay, so there is a small introduction section. So this is for everyone who are not familiar or have not done before, how to do a personal portfolio kind of a website. Okay, so the first thing is like give a small quick introduction which says about yourself and what exactly your profile. So in case if you are looking for jobs or something like that, this will be like a perfect replacement for your CV. So instead of going to a recruiter, giving him your CV, giving him or her your CV, if you directly give this website, they can clearly see what exactly you're doing and stuff like that, right? So I'm a full stack developer. My main work is to create websites like this. And if they see this one, this exactly proves what my work quality is, right? So that is one of the superb reasons why you should have a website in case if you are in a IT industry. And moreover, apart from this, there are like small banners. If you are like looking for a job, like looking to hire me, you can hire me, something like that. And then my experience in the reverse chronological order, I still need to update all these things. So clicking on these things, it comes like this. And so it has a clean effect and stuff like that. So that's one thing. Then immediately after experience, I'm going to put my education as well, because after education it would be sorry, if after experience it would be education. Then we have like some made up numbers. All these numbers are just made up. So actually I used to say that these numbers do not mean anything, but actually right now the number of projects I have completed is more than 116, and all these numbers are very old, like very less compared to what I have done, because I guess I did it long back. And then always, so if at all if you are doing something or other, make sure you are putting that outside somewhere. Like for example, even if it is a small like a hello world application, make sure you are putting this. See, look at this. This is something which I created like recently in the sense 2000. And this is something which I created in 1999 or something like that. I don't know when I created this, I don't even remember. But look at the way it has actually transformed from this to something like this. So these are a few portfolio kind of designs which we all created, and something like that. This is really nice, right? Like looking at the website. So always put your portfolios in your professional levels. For example, if you are in LinkedIn or somewhere, it is always better to put that in there. Okay, so that is one good thing. And finally, there is a blog section. I always try to share my experience with others. So I created this blog section. And whatever that we are, I have something in my mind or something like that. I guess most of you are students, right? So in case if you want to do some higher studies or you want to come to UK and study something, I have got an extensive thing about UK. So if you want to come to UK, then yes, I'm here to help you. And apart from that, then there is testimonials. This is similar to the recommendations section in the LinkedIn. Then finally, always make sure you have some kind of like a contact us section, so that people can come and email you or like message you. There should be a way to contact. So typically this is what a portfolio should contain. So that is what is something which we are going to do. And what do you think about this? So leave it in your comments. So we will be looking at this in detail. That's what I was saying. And first thing is, I'm planning to create a GitHub repository as the first part. That is where the whole code will be stored. So let me zoom this in for you. I create a new repository which is going to say as take portfolio, and I'll send this link in the YouTube chat section as well. So I'm going to leave this as a public repository so that you can go ahead, share it, star it, and fork it and work on top of it. Okay, so let me share this with you all. And don't forget to press the subscribe button. That would be really helpful for me. It would be motivating me. And I'm just going to quickly look into the chat section if there is any questions or something like that. So Mudit is asking for a link. I'm not sure what link is it. Thanks Rishabh for interesting session. Hi Lovely. Oh, someone actually messed up the video stuff. Just give me a second. I guess I guess Kanika got into trouble. Just a second. Let me fix this.
Sir, actually, Akansha has some problem with the internet. So. Sir, let them know that Sudhanshu is from other community, so he is not here. They're asking about it.
Oh, hi. So Sudhanshu is not in this community. He's from Tech Era community. This is Tech community. This is a different community for them. I'm doing this one. All right. Okay, great. Yeah. So I hope now it is kind of okay, and we are back now, and hopefully it works because of the network issues from in India. There seems to be some issues. Okay. Yeah, super. Now what I'm going to do is, let me make this a moderator. Yeah. Okay. So this is the GitHub repository. I hope all of you have the link for this, and here is where we will be putting the code. Okay. And one more thing which I'm going to show is what exactly the development environment that I'm using. If you go ahead and search for Praveen Dev environment in Google, the first link is, it says personal development environment, my adventures. So this is what you would be seeing. I'll send this link as well in the thing. Just a second. So TickTick community, I guess Akanksha is here. Akanksha, can you? Sorry, Kanika is here, or sorry, Kanika.
Yes, sir.
Can you share something in the YouTube chat? Like just type in something. Just wanted to make sure you are able to type the links and stuff.
I'm not able to type the shareable link. So
just type something. Just type hi. I'll just make sure you are able to type the links. Okay. I've made you as a moderator. Now try typing anything. Type something, then type link. Type a link. Okay, it is not working. I'm not sure why it is saying this way. I have added you as a moderator, but it is not allowing you to add you as a moderator. Just a second. I guess I need to remove some of the moderators and then add you back. Okay, you are already a moderator. Interesting. It should work for you now. Can you type in a link? Yeah, okay. Just send me the link through WhatsApp. I will send it over here. That's fine. Send me the link through WhatsApp. Okay, superb. Sorry, folks, for the trouble caused. So we will be sharing the links very soon, and it will be also updated in the description. Okay, quickly going into the development environment. So the first thing is about Google Chrome. So we all the web development stuff will be done using Google Chrome, because this is one of the easiest things that I can work on and stuff like that. And now the best thing about Google Chrome is, like, you can do a lot of things. So how many of you what should I say? Kanika, what is the good news website that comes to your mind?
Z News. I
Z
don't
News.
watch a lot of news, so
No,
NDTV you can check out.
you can check NDTV. Okay, so
Yeah.
NDTV.
Also, I've shared the link, sir.
Right, you have shared the link on WhatsApp, is it? Yeah. I've just
Yes,
got it.
yes.
Yeah. I've just got it. I'll just share these both the links here. So Kanika says this, and this is the Discord link. Okay, superb. I've shared both the things. For some reason, it is not working. So yeah, so if you take this particular news website, I'm just gonna quickly zoom in. So it has a lot of things, and one first thing which we can clearly see, this is not actually a responsive website. So unfortunately, that is bad. So we can make something which is really better than the NDTV website. Okay, so any one of you from the audience, like from the viewers who wants to be focused on NDTV, who wants to be on NDTV today? So Mudit, I'm not sure what Quint is. Okay, I'll just add your name, Mudit, for being the first one. Okay, Mudit and Hitesh, great. Okay, what I'm going to do is, the first thing is, I'm sorry, I don't know how this is going to sound, but I'm going to change this part, and removing both monkeys, I'm going to put Mudit and Hitesh. So if I do this, look at what I have done. It's called as an inspect element. So for how many of you who have not seen something like this, you can actually test out. This is not something that I have changed the whole news for everyone in the world, but I just changed only for me. Okay, but still, this is a good prank, right? So robust immune response, Indian vaccine maker after test on Mudit and Hitesh. Sorry, man, I couldn't get you a better news. And yeah, so this is something called as web inspector, and it is very much helpful in the terms of, like, if you want to do something, but if you want to test it out, there is a lot of trial and error, right? Okay, even that coronavirus vaccine is like trial and error. So on the trial and error, we are actually doing a trial and error. So this is something which I use the most. So inspect element is one of the web developers, like the best tool to use. So that is something is there. So that is provided in Google Chrome. And the next thing is, we have couple of plugins, but almost everything is for the full stack development. But out of this, there is one plugin which I really like, which is called as this Open Graph Viewer. So Open Graph Viewer will give you a small hint of how it will be displayed if you put it on Twitter, if you put it on Facebook, etc. So if I go to my website, it is the live website, and if I click on this one, it's going to try posting it on Facebook and show us how the response will be. If you put it as a post, it is going to show us like this. And if I do it on the Twitter page, it is going to show me as a Twitter post. This is how it is going to show me. So for doing these things, you need something called as Open Graph. I'll tell about the Open Graph as well in a couple of minutes. And yeah, so apart from these things, yeah, I use Git for making sure the whole version control things are working perfectly. And there are a few things that I use for terminal management. Then Sublime Text is one of the best things that I use for HTML and CSS. But today we will be for having it as a simple for simplicity says. So I'll use Visual Studio Code. So let's directly go into VS Code. So VS Code, I'm using a lot of plugins. So today will be mostly into learning why we are using this and what will this thing happen, like what will happen with this. And tomorrow we will be building the whole I mean, today it's going to be like, I'm going to get a lot of ideas from you. So you can use this one, you can use that one, something like that. And then after that, tomorrow we will be building the whole stuff. Okay. So it's going to be you who is going to dictate tomorrow's website. And by the way, Kanika, do we have any kind of like registration form or something like that? Do you want to create a quick form telling what they want, so that we can pick up some people from the live chat, and then we can use them for like they we can build their own portfolio, like as a crowdsourcing thing, so that everyone will be finding it. Like we can give a fair share for everyone, so something like that. Or else what we will do is, whoever is asking the best question, one of you will be chosen randomly by the tech team, and then they will be giving you uh, uh, we will be working on your portfolio. Okay, so keep up your questions really good, and make sure you hit the subscribe button, share it with everyone. So if you can just take a screenshot and put it on LinkedIn, get your friends, and yeah, so that would be awesome. Great. Now, apart from these things, I have used a couple of plugins in VS Code. I'll tell you what are all these plugins for, and there are also some Windows specific things as well, in case if you are using Windows. Okay. Yeah, Mohit and Hitesh are like kind of like going in on a crazy fight, I guess. Like, I want to be the monkey. Oh, sorry. I want to be the test bed. Right. Oh, awesome. Um, uh, Thanks for this, and let's look for the best questions from the audience, and we'll go with that. Before that, forward this WhatsApp link in your WhatsApp group. I'm watching on laptop. Okay, laptop has web.whatsapp, guys, so make sure you are using that. And apart from that, I guess I have forwarded both the Discord and WhatsApp links, so that is perfect. uh, then the next thing which we need to work on is, okay, so let's go directly into the practical stuff. How many of you here know what Bootstrap is? What a responsive web design is? So can everyone watching this give a single one liner of what Bootstrap is, and then I'll tell you what exactly Bootstrap is and how we can use that to create awesome responsive web designs. And one more thing today I will be looking into is what are all the different awesome Bootstrap websites which are already made. We can take some nice like we can actually postmortem them, see how they are built, and then we can get some ideas so that tomorrow we'll be building something awesome. What do you think? What is Waka time? Okay, I'm just going to check out what Waka time is. Developer dashboard. Okay, so Hitesh sent me this link saying like this is Waka time. It's a dashboard for developers, and it has like open source plugins, open source for plugins for metrics about programming. So what does this do? Project languages. Dude, I know what I'm working on, so I don't need this. But it is really a cool tool. Thanks, Hitesh, for bringing this up. See, this is one of the best things about working with everyone. Like, for example, if I'm doing something new, I'm going to ask everyone to, we all will learn together, right? So that's actually a good part about this. Okay, so Waka time is looking good. Okay, so leaving all these things, let's get directly into Bootstrap. And let me quickly look at the comments. A front-end framework which is mobile first, perfect one. Uh, Front-end UI framework for responsive design and mobile friendly, good. Library of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, good. Open source CSS used as mobile first. Looks like a lot of people know what exactly it is, and it's really good. CSS framework for developing responsiveness. Yeah.
Sir, I'll suggest that instead of questions, we can focus on more on the answers, which will be the best answers, and the regular ones we'll have them for the
I mean, anything. So the one who is going to be like picked up is completely the decision is based on whatever tech teams takes it. Okay, whether it is Kanika or Akansha, they will be saying we will take this person's portfolio or something like we will try to do this person's portfolio, something like that from the chat. Okay, so get your answers clear and make sure you put the I mean like share it with your LinkedIn and stuff like that. Okay, so let's quickly get into Bootstrap. Okay, so if we want to go to Bootstrap, there is something called as getbootstrap.com. That is the website where you will be able to find the Bootstrap website. Okay, let me quite slightly zoom in. Yeah, so it says the moment it opens up, it says it's building fast, responsive sites with Bootstrap, and you can quickly design and customize responsive mobile first designs. So the first thing which you would be looking at is the documentation. So here is where everything is. Okay. So the first thing what I would say is let's start building something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder like this. Okay. So for that, I'm going to use my command prompt. So this is the terminal I was talking about. It has a lot of nice things. So I'm going to do a git clone, but before doing the git clone, what I will generally ask people to do is copy this username and then add it in front of yours, front of the github.com with an @ symbol. Okay. And then if you press enter, it is going to clone an empty repository. Yes, I know we are cloning an empty repository, which is good. And if I try to do this one, the good thing about Oh My ZSH is, see, this is actually showing me what branch I am in. And if I type, if I create some kind of a file or something like that, let's say hitesh.txt or something like this, immediately it shows Hitesh is wrong. I mean, immediately it shows that the current working directory is not empty or it's unclean. So we will remove the unclean Hitesh outside. So if you do a git status as well, it's going to show us. I don't need to go into the git status to find out that which branch I am in and if there are any unclean untracked files are present. So everything is shown for me by this. Okay, so I'm just gonna do git checkout dot rm hitesh.txt and it's gone. Superb. So that's what we are doing. And if I try to open this one, there is literally nothing here. So we actually don't need this. But what we will do is we'll take this one and put it on top of VS Code so that it opens in VS Code. Okay. So I'm gonna slightly zoom in as well. So I'll quickly run through the plugins that I'm using here. Okay. So the first thing which I'm doing using is, it's called as a Cobalt theme. It's a theme, so it's not much of a thing. This is something like a snippets that I use. It is mainly for React and Redux, so we will skip it as well. ESLint, this is something really important, which is going to make sure your JavaScript, whatever JavaScript that you're writing is perfect. Then we have Git history. Git history, what it does is for every single file, it shows up all the Git history, every single change that has been done, what change has been done, what was the previous change, who did that, all these things inside your VS Code. Then we have Git lens. This is one of the super cool things that I have got. So what it does is, whenever you click on a line, it is going to show you on the line, this line has been changed by this person on this day, which is cool, right? Prettier. This is one of the awesome thing. I'll tell you when and how I will be working on this. Then finally, I have to-do tree and VS Code icons. These are all just like like a cosmetic thing. So I'm not going to talk much on this. So once I create an index.html, that's the first file we generally create, right? So I want to run a server here. So it is going to be a PHP server so that it is very quick and simple. So I'll be running it on the port 80, and any ports that are less than 1024 that needs to that you need to run an application, you need to run it with elevated permissions on the Unix machines. So that's the reason I have used sudo and I need to type my password. So once I do this, I can directly go here and type in localhost. Boom, I got this page. For now, if I just put something like a title tag and say hello tech. Hey, what is the real like background before your name, the community name? Do you want to say it, Kanika?
Yes, sir.
What is the background?
Yeah, a random thought, sir. We thought about it and we had it. Not something.
Not something really. There is a big history behind it or something like that. Okay.
No.
Because A and K are like caps and others are small. That's the reason I asked if there is anything.
So kind of, because our friend suggested that it's our initials, so we should keep
wow, Akanksha and Kanika, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Fine. So right now we have got a I'm just gonna give a quick demo. Again, there are like so many people who I know already, so they know this. So if you have seen in my previous videos, please don't say about don't give the answer. What I'm going to ask is how long does it going to take for a small, like a creating a small navigation bar. Okay, so those people who know the answer, please, I literally beg you, don't say the answer. Let's give the chance for the new people who are watching this. Okay, oh, this is the first time I have drawn a line without any blemishes. That's nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a kind of like a layout here. So this has a header. You know that there is a header tag, right? So this one is a header tag. Then this one is a h1 tag. Then this is a logo, which is inside a link. Then we have 4 navigation items. So nav1, nav2, nav3, and nav4. All right. So we have got this as the kind of like a area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of quickly switch off this one. So I'll show you what all things are there in this. Okay. So there is a header tag, and there is a h1 tag, and there is a nav tag, and then inside the h1 tag there is an a, and it says logo, and inside the nav tag there is ul, and inside the ul there is a li with a link which says link nav1. Like that, we have got 4 links: nav2, nav3, nav4. Okay, so this is what we have got for this particular UI. Okay, how long do you think you will take to create a structure like this? Okay, so this is the structure that we need. And how long do you think it will take to just write the HTML? Please write it in your comments. So I could see answers like Vanshika says, hey Haripriya. Vanshika says 10 minutes. Mudit, I'm not gonna look at your answer because you know. Okay. Rohan says 10 minutes. A lot of people say 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, Shanmuganathan says 5 to 10 minutes. Anyone else would like to say how long it takes? Okay, so a lot of people have, yeah, I know, man, I know, Hitesh. Anshu also says less than. Okay, Anshu actually attended my today morning's webinar, so she might know. All right, so a lot of people, I will safely assume that you might take at least anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Okay, so something like that. Let's see how we can try to make this better. Okay, so how can we make this whole thing? And I'm gonna show you something magical. So how many, I'm not sure how many of you know this thing called as emmet. So now it says 17 seconds, 18 seconds, right? I'll start at 20. So I create a doc type, which is perfect. And then I create a header. Inside the header tag, I want a h1, and then there is an a, and I want to put logo inside it. Then there is a nav, there is ul. Inside that there are 4 list items, and then there is a which says link 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. It's 20 seconds, right? So we have done this. So if I even if I want to change all these link 1, link 2, link 3, and wait, I guess my screen is stuck. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, let me try this out again. So look at this. I go back to my index.html, and let's look at the time. It's gonna start at 10. Okay, boom. I have got my doc type here, and immediately I go for the header tag. Inside the header tag, I put a h1, put an a, and then inside the a, I want to put logo. And with the sibling of h1, I need a nav tag, and inside the nav tag, I put a ul, and I've got 4 list items, not 47. And inside that, I've got a which says link 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are done. 25 seconds for me. So this is what is expected, and this is what it takes to do it. So how many of you think this is amazing? So this is called as Emmet. So this is exactly a kind of like a Zen coding. It is called CSS Zen coding in the previous versions. So it is accessible through emmet.io. I'm going to send the link in a few seconds. And here, if you can try to watch the demo, this is how it works. So you need to type a CSS like abbreviation, and then it, once you type it, if you do the run the expanding command, which is tab in most of the cases, and in VS Code it is enter, it works. And there will be also trigger points here. Every places you can actually, like for example, if you got this one, like see, look at this, you go here, etc. So these things are like, you can go into the trigger points, and then you can also change the tags here. So that is so cool about Emmet. This is how it works, and that is by default is installed in Visual Studio Code, and that is one easy way of doing things. Okay, Anshu says that it is more amazing to learn it twice. Yeah, that's always there. Great. So let's go on. And we have got our basic things like, how to use the HTML and stuff like that. Okay, never ever again type this lesser than symbol, because this is bad. What I generally do is I always try to use, let's say, image, so img, and in case if I need to type something like div, I use div, and then so this way it automatically fills in the corresponding end tag, so that you don't miss it out, or sometimes it gets into a complete mess. So right now always it shows for me prettier as always ticked, which is actually good. For example, if I remove this and save it, it's going to say there is an alert here, and it says there is the missing div tag, and make sure you have the correct closing tag and stuff like that. So if I save this, it says formatting complete, something like that. So make sure you always stick to the right stuff, and that will be really helpful. Okay, so let's go back to our terminal, and I'm going to create another ZSH, and this is the basic, like the skeleton of the HTML, which is also responsive. For any responsive website designs, you need to have this meta name viewport. Okay, if this is not provided, then the responsiveness will not work. I'll give you a quick example of how Bootstrap responsiveness works. But before that, we need Bootstrap in our computer, like in our page. So either you can have the Bootstrap code inside your folder, or you can get it from something called as CDN. Can anyone say here what a CDN means? What is a CDN? Okay, Dev Kamal is asking about, please design a developer portfolio website. That's what we are doing here. So we are not designing any fashion designers portfolio websites. So I'm a developer. So how many of you know what CDN is? Please do message in the comment. Sorry, in the chat. Okay, that's interesting. It looks like no one has an idea about CDN. So yes, Mudit is there again. So content delivery network. Hey, looks like the chat is slow, man. Sorry about that. CDN is Anshu has given the definition as well. CDN is a distributed network of proxy service, I guess. Kind of, it's a content delivery network. So it is also distributed missions, so that you always get what you want. Okay, so that's actually a good thing. Thanks for the responses, which is perfect. And let's go on with the Bootstrap stuff. Okay, so the first thing what you need to do is, you need the quickly, if you want to use the Bootstrap, you need to go to the CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so what you need to do is, you just need to copy this one. Let's go back to our thing, and then we don't really require this cross origin integrity, etc. So we will just get rid of these things. So we've got link rel style sheet and href as 4.5.2 as the Bootstrap site, And I guess this is the latest version. Yeah, we are on the latest version. And for the jQuery, we have got this one. Let's copy this one. Bootstrap always requires jQuery to run, so make sure you have the jQuery also loaded here. So what we will be doing is we will try to copy this one. Oh. I'll just remove these three things and save it off. So now we have got our Bootstrap based mission. I mean, like Bootstrap based page ready. How I know this is Bootstrap based? I'm going to put a h1 tag saying hello take and then save it, refresh. I can see that this is not my the real font that I use, and the on the top left the margins and padding are missing, which is typically about Bootstrap, and this is the CSS has been replaced and stuff like that. So if I try to remove this link, the style sheet thing, if I put something like this, so this is what I was expecting to see. But when I added Bootstrap, I see something totally different. The first thing what we will be doing is we need to set up our fonts and other things. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another style sheet. So I'll put CSS style.css. So here is where I can define my fonts. So I'm going to give body as font family as Open Sans. I guess a lot of people know what Open Sans font looks like, and it is not working because I haven't saved it. So after loading the Bootstrap's font, we will load the custom font. So if I put style.css and save it and refresh this thing, okay, I have actually removed this one. So I'm going to put h1 hello take and then refresh it. Boom. This is what I was expecting, and this looks really nice for starters. So we have actually connected both CSS and HTML in this, okay, which is perfect. And the next thing which we are looking for is how we can use the Bootstrap's different stuff. Starting with it, Bootstrap has a few layout tools. Okay, so in the layout, you have something called as a grid system. So let's see how the grid system works. So there are like a couple of grid options. So you have extra small, which is XS. You have small, which is SM. You have medium, which is MD. You have large, which is LG. You have extra large, which is XL. So these are the basic responsive things that you need to know. So how exactly a responsive column looks like, that is what we need to look at. Okay, so we have something called so if you need this thing to be displayed on every kind of like a breakpoint, what you generally do is we can do something like this. Just a second, I was just looking at display utilities. So there is something called as display utilities here. I'm going to show you a quick demo for how it looks like. Okay, so this is an inline display.
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
But I have a few feedbacks, and they are saying that can we go a little slower? Like some of them are not familiar with Bootstrap or something. So can we have them with the details?
Definitely. So what I was trying to say is like I wanted to show a demo. You don't need to like know everything at this point. I'll be reteaching everything. I just wanted to show a demo so that I wanted to tell you a few things about Bootstrap. That is something which I wanted to say. So after this, I'll explain what exactly happens. There is a I'll go inside this body. Okay, the first thing that you want to put here is let's have the same thing. Let's give h1 tag. Okay, and whatever you do, like for in adding the Bootstrap styles, we will be using a lot of class names. Okay, so if I say like something like hello take and it looks something like this. If I add a class called text center, it is going to center the text. Okay, so there are a lot of classes that we will be learning today. Okay, that is the first thing that we will be looking at. Secondly, if I try to do M stands for margin, P stands for padding. So for padding, I'm going to give P5, which is 5M. So which means if you see here, there is no M here, but if I refresh this page, let's consider this as the M value. Okay, this is the width of the single character. So this character 5 times is the padding. That's what we have given. So it is called as an M value. This is one type of unit. Okay, for now, let's have something like this. Now, what I'm going to do is at this point of time, I will be putting a couple of paragraphs. I'll just put like 5 paragraphs. Okay, P star 5. And then I will put hello inside that. Okay, so we can see that there are 5 hellos. I'll actually put everything inside a center text as well. So what I can do is I can put a text center on top of everything. This is to demonstrate how responsive this one is. Okay. Now, first thing what I'm going to do is this is visible in small devices. Secondly, extra small devices. Now I'm going to copy the same thing. Actually, I'll copy the same thing here. This will be small devices. This will be in medium devices. This will be in large devices. This will be visible in extra large devices. Okay. Now if I save it, everything is visible right now. All right. So until then, do you have any questions with the coding part here? So what I have given is, if you put text center, this is one class of Bootstrap which aligns the text in the center centrally. P stands for padding, and padding is the space between the border and the content. Okay, and finally we have a div, which is a normal tag which has a text center class, so that anything inside this, for example, all these paragraphs are centrally aligned. Right. So I see this all these things are looking like this. Okay, so first thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make everything other than this one not to be displayed. So what I can do is I can create a class for everything, add a class for these, saying D none. So D none means display none in Bootstrap. So if I do this, it says this is visible in extra small device. And then here for this one, it should be only visible in extra small devices, right? So D, what is the second level? It is small devices. So I'm going to put SM none. So everything is fine except the small device. The same way, this should be visible in the small device. So I'm going to put DSM block. Block level display is the default display for paragraph tags. So I'm just putting block, DSM block, which is going to put anything from SM to above to be a block. But at the same time, I don't want it to be visible in the medium devices. So I'm going to do DMD none. Medium means MD, small means SM, extra small means XS, large means LG, extra large means XL. So that is what we are going to do. So I'm just going to copy the same thing for all these 3 stuff. And now this is SM block, MD none. The same, this MD goes here, MD block. The next one is LG none, LG block, XL none, XL block. There is nothing more than XL, so we are going to remove that. Okay, now I have saved everything. Until then, we have just added 3 classes. Refreshing this one, it says this is visible in large devices, right? Okay, before that, we will change all these things. You are watching in okay. Instead of the devices, I'll make it as device. Okay, so if I refresh it, you're watching it in a large device. The reason being, my screen size is so huge, it is a large device. It is considering it as a large device because it has 1920 as the width. Any device which is more than 1280 will be constituted as a large device. Okay. So how many of you know that there is something called as responsive design view? So this exactly is called as a responsive design view. And oh, that's the maximum can I do. Okay, this is the 4K display. Okay, so I'm in the 4K display. It says like it is the 2560K, sorry, 2560 pixels, which is 4K, and it looks something like this. Okay, so there you have it says you are watching an extra large device. Now, how many times have we written the code? Just once, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the screen size. Okay, so this is a screen size reducer. You can see the current screen size here. It is 2545, and then it keeps going down, 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 down. Look at this. The moment it goes down from 2100 to 2095, it says you're watching in a large device. And then let's go down, 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 down. If it goes less than 1755, it's going to say you are watching in a medium device. Okay, I guess because of the 70% thing, it got kind of like screwed up. But anyway, this is the case. And if I completely do it, it is going to say small device. You're in an extra small device, something like that. Okay, let me remove the what do you call this? Let me remove the zoom here. So if I remove the zoom, it is going to show me, I know it is going to be very tough to read this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a better, like a body font size as 5.5 em so that it looks big. Okay, so it says you are watching in a small device. Really? Wait, let me refresh everything. It definitely says you are watching in a small device. Okay, it is in a medium device after 768 pixels. Oh, it is an extra small device after this. Great. Okay, so that's what exactly is happening. So this is called as responsiveness. Okay, so and one thing which we can also do is there are like loads and loads of utility classes here. So something like backgrounds, background color, we can do like BG primary, BG secondary and stuff like that. So let's try playing around with that. Before that, I want to set the prettier width as 8000 for now. And I'll save this. Okay, great. Now, if I try to add all the background colors here, so the first background color will be BG primary. So you can see that there are multiple background colors. Then there is BG secondary. Then there is BG success. Then BG danger. We have BG warning. All right. So I save all these things and then let's try out again. So at the moment it says you're watching in an extra small device. If you keep resizing it, it becomes small device. Then it becomes a medium device, becomes a large device. Then you are in a extra large device. So this is what exactly a responsive thing does. Okay. So with this being said, you can do a lot of content level changes with your CSS alone. So these are all brought to you by CSS, and with respect with Bootstrap that's being added to this part, we can even do a lot of things like, you don't need what do you call this? You really don't want Bootstrap. Sorry, you really don't want. You just need just a CSS part. You don't need any JavaScript part for doing this one. Okay, what do you think about this one? This is exactly as a responsive design. Vanshika says, can you repeat how you could do so quickly? Sure. I'll quickly show a demo of that again. So I believe what you're asking is about the HTML part, right? So you remember what we had before is, let me put as this. So the first thing what I did is I put an exclamation sign, which is going to be an emmet abbreviation for a doc type declaration. So the moment I do this, it's going to show me this doc type. Okay. So I can either go with the either device width or initial scale, or go to the title, change the title to who was the one who asked. I guess it was Vanshika, right? Yes, Vanshika Bhatia. So I'm going to change this to Vanshika, and then I go back to the body. So here what I want is, let me also compare it with this one. Okay, I want a header, and inside the header I have, okay, let me put plain for now. H1 nav. Inside H1 I want A. Inside nav I want UL, LI, A. This needs to be like 4 times. Okay, this is exactly what I want, right? This is the structure I want. What I do here is, header is in the parent, right? I just put a header. Inside that I need 2 children. Okay, so I can put H1 plus nav. So this will become header. Inside that there is H1 and there is nav. 2 tags are there inside there. Now the problem here is, I want to put another tag after H1. So if I do something like this and type in nav, it becomes the nav is the child of H1. No, I don't want this to be a child. So I want this whole thing to be a sibling. So I'm putting a brace around it. Okay. So now if I put nav, it's going to say H1A and then nav as the sibling of H1. The next thing which I'm talking about is a text. Any text you can write it using a what do you call this one? Curly braces. So I'm just going to put Vanshika here, Vanshika Bhatia, and then inside nav I have a UL tag. So the UL tag has also come, and inside the UL tag I've got a LI tag, not one, but I've got 4 LI tags, right? And inside each LI tag I've got a tag, and inside each A tag what I want is, I want something that says link, and then I want everything to say a number. So dollar will actually become the multiplier here. So link 1, link 2, link 3, link 4 will be displayed. This is how I created it. Thanks for asking. I guess I thought a lot of people might have not noticed that, and I'm really sorry I did not explain this one. So was this helpful, Vanshika? Superb. Thank you. So now that is about Emmet. And if you go to emmet.io, you will be able to find everything. Now for now, this is the responsive trick that we all know. What I'm going to do is, I'll save everything and I'll put this in Git. Okay. So I'm using a lot of Git shortcuts. If you are looking for all the shortcuts, you can find Praveen Git shortcuts. Even I do the same thing to find the article I wrote. So first article again. So this has a lot of Git shortcuts, starting from basic status and adding and committing, the diff tool, assuming unchanged. Assuming unchanged is something totally different. So this is something like what should I say? It's completely a advanced one, so don't touch it. Resetting the commits, dangerous one. Logs and graph, informational. Checking out and branching, switching branches, pulling and rebasing, kind of, that's the main thing. SVN commands, we don't care. Alias master command, and all in one command. So like these are the commands that I generally use both in my web workplace as well as in my development times. So I just use this. So I'll just copy this whole URL and then put it on the YouTube channel as well. For this, what do you call this one? For the Emmet thing, in VS Code, it comes automatically. You have everything in the VS Code. But for what do you call this? For Sublime Text, you need to do something more. So I'll show you how to get this in Sublime Text. So if you have Sublime Text, it is very fast and stuff like that. But you need something called as Wilborn package control. So this is something that helps Sublime Text to have all these things. And you also have Emmet. So all these things are here. Okay, so make sure you are looking at this. So I have added all these links in the chat as well. So have a look at it, and we will compile all the links and put it in the description too. So don't worry. So look at the chat and all these things will be here. Okay. Any other questions that you wanted to ask? Hey, I did not expect that we have in so soon we have run out of 1 hour soon. Kanika, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So yeah, I did not expect that we will run out of 1 hour so soon. And where is Akansha? Couldn't find her.
So she had some connectivity issues and the meeting is logged. So she's
Oh,
working
all right, no
at
worries.
the time.
I'll try to get her in back. Sorry, folks, we are gonna go slightly put a screen, get Akansha on the call so that we can get her perfectly. Okay.
Okay.
Go on, talk. So yeah,
Okay.
we've got both Kanika and Akansha back now. Go on.
Yeah, so till now we have discussed the code and we'll be going on the detailed version and explanation tomorrow. And we'll build a portfolio. We have decided for now whose portfolio we'll be working on, and let's see if we have more interesting answers to the questions. We'll share a LinkedIn post for you all so that you can give us a feedback so that we can
So I'm
plan
just gonna share
another.
that once I get it in WhatsApp or something.
Yeah. No, we can share because we are in the moderator mode, so we can share
Okay,
directly.
okay, okay, great, awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that we know what all are you planning to have with us, and so that we can have another sessions on based on your interests.
Right. So for today, the next 20 minutes, we will be looking into like other bootstrap based stuff on the container side. Then what are all the grid systems are there? So those kind of things we will be learning now. And after that, we'll be going into the what do you call this? We'll try to work on a small quick intro of what next will be done and stuff like that, and then we will wrap up for the day. We'll be wrapping up in exactly 25 minutes, and you all can go freedom. You get the freedom to go. Okay, so that's nice. And let me quickly share my screen again. Okay, great. Yeah, hope everyone is able to see my screen now. That's nice. And yeah, so I hope this one is better. Um, the portfolio is actually a user interface like UI front end, right? So MERN stack, let it be any stack. Ultimately, the output is going to be HTML and CSS. So directly we'll be working on the HTML and CSS part, Hitesh. One more thing is from Mohit, how to make navbar responsive while hover on it. All sites have different types of navbar. One class just on navbar. Sorry, Mohit, I don't understand the question. Do you want to rewrite it or like rephrase it? Okay, we'll get into the next parts here. Okay, so the first thing we will be looking at is, so we saw about colors and other things, right? So if you go back to our layout, we'll see what are all the grid systems that are available. Okay, one thing is this is completely based on grids. So generally a website will have 12 grids. In this case, for Bootstrap based websites, it's 12 grids. So we have like yeah, just a second. So we have got like call 8, and we can mix and match all these grid systems. I don't know why they have removed all those things. It was looking really good looking at all the grids. Maybe I have missed it. No. Okay, I'll just show you how the grid systems look in our website itself, like in our page itself. Okay, so for now what I have done is I have done this magic trick of, like, you know, when you reduce the screen, different colors and different text will be coming. That is what we have done so far, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this code, um, this responsive code, to the GitHub repository, so that it will be really useful for you to, like, you know, look into it, try to work with it and stuff like that. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Before that, I'll just change this document into responsive demo. And what I'm going to do now is I'll do git add and add at responsiveness. Okay, and just a second. So the moment I push the code, you can clearly see it here as well. So this is the code where exactly it is available. So if you go here and then download this, you will be able to get it. Mohit, I don't understand your question. Do you want to rephrase it? I already answered this. I want you to rephrase the question.
He wants a class on navbar, how we can use it in different ways, use the hover effects and all
Oh,
on the
okay, okay.
navigation bar itself. That's what he wants, I
All
guess.
right. Okay. I mean, what different hover effects are you talking about? Is it something like this and the one which we have this? Actually, these two things are Bootstrap based. Look at this. They are really similar. And if you go to this nav component here, we have got the same thing. For GitHub, we can actually build the same thing using nav. See, that's exactly the same thing which we have, which the GitHub pages have been also designed through that. So something like this. So different types of designs we can actually look into it. I'll try. I'll do one thing today. I'm going to go check out different Bootstrap based designs, and I'm going to showcase that in the first 10 minutes of our tomorrow's call, tomorrow's session, and then we will go take some good ideas from that, and then we will be trying to implement something on that. How does that sound?
Great.
Awesome. Nice. So now we will look into a few couple of important things. We will try to do some kind of like a skeletal Bootstrap design for our website, and then we will go for the next round. Okay. We will wrap up the session after that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all these things. The first thing that we will be doing is we'll be using a nav bar. So how many, let's take a poll now. How many of you want dark nav? How many of you want light nav? And for those who want different colored nav, please let me know. Put it in the chat message. Who wants dark nav? Who wants light nav? And you have like different nav bar colors as well, but let's go with normal dark or light nav. How many of you need dark? How many of you need light? Wow, Shankare says transparent nav. Okay, transparent nav. Okay, that's actually a good idea. That's also a good one. We have got our dark nav going higher, which is nice. Number of people asking for dark nav is high. Nice, that's good. What shall we do, AK? Shall we go with dark one?
Yes, sir. Let's
Excellent.
go for the dark one.
Even we prefer dark one.
Okay, great. That's awesome. Whatever you say, that's the final, you know, like, let's go with that. Now, we will go with the basic nav bar. So basically, if you need just a simple nav bar, what you need is a nav class nav bar, whether it is dark or light, and then these classes along with the A tag. Okay, so let's take up the whole thing, or let's go with this one as a heading, and then we'll go with the stuff here. So what name should we give? Whose portfolio? Have we decided on whose portfolio we are going to build?
Right now, Mudit was the one who was answering. After that, Hitesh. And then Vanshika was having questions. So it's up to you, sir.
Okay, we'll put a toss. Okay, so let's roll a dice. All right, we'll decide it today. Okay, we will decide it tonight after offline. All right. So if I refresh this one, I could see that
have Mohit.
We have Mohit
for the
as well.
questions.
Okay, so many. What do you call this? We have a lot of competition now. Okay, so let's go with the dark color nav bar. So boom. So we have got the dark nav bar. All we need to do is we need to add a class called nav bar, and then nav bar dark, then a background dark. Then inside that, the first thing that we will write is the span with a nav bar brand. So this nav bar brand, what it does is it is going to be the real brand thing, you know, the brand stuff. And then we are giving the class of H1. So all the styles that will be there for a heading level 1, for a level 1 heading will be here. So if you see here, it looks perfect. Okay, so it looks like a good heading and stuff like that. And this is what it shows in the normal mode, and in the zoomed in mode, it shows this way. All right. So now with this one, what I want to do is I want to make sure I have a kind of like a, you know, a shadow or something like that. At this point of time, I don't think there is no margin also. So what I'm going to do is for margin bottom, I'll be using an MB class, and let's give like 3 as the margin bottom. So it's going to be 3M, which is bearable, which looks really nice. And then with that, we can also do a shadow. If I do a shadow, it looks really big. So I don't want so much big shadow. I'm going to make it as a small shadow. So we can do shadow SM so that it does, we can see a shadow, but it doesn't look like there is a shadow available, right? So it is like a subtle shadow, right? Now, with that being said, our nav bar is now complete. Like, see, it is so simple to create a simple nav bar. So we have given our my portfolio's nav bar. And then the first thing is you need to keep everything in your sections. Okay, so let's have a section tag, and then every section would be having a heading. Okay, so let's start with the H2. All right, so let's go with so even before you put the headings, we need to make the right structure here. So inside the section, what we can do is we can do a container. Always for Bootstrap classes, you need to start with a container, and inside the container, you will be having a row. For every row, you can have up to 12 columns, 1 to 12 columns. So let's try out the columns today. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dot col 1, which is going to be the minimum number of the minimum size of the column. And then I'm going to put 12 times, and I'm going to put inside that column 1, 2, 3 or something like this. Okay. Now if I save this one and refresh it, boom, I get something bad. So what I will do is I'll just remove this column part and save it and refresh it. So I've got like 12 different div elements which are equally spaced, and they are all here in the columns. Okay. The next thing that we will be looking at is this is one of the grid systems. Okay. So let's create another row, and inside this row, let's create 3 column way. So generally, if you see any website, for example, if we take facebook.com or something like that, or let's go with twitter.com. This is my Twitter handle. So you can clearly see that there are 3 columns, right? So at this point of time, on the left side, this is a left column. I don't want to do these things. Okay. So on this side, this is a left column, and this side it is a right column, and this side is a center column. So if you see, if you are putting 4 options in equally, it is going to be like 4, 4, 4. That constitutes 12. So I want it a little bit bigger. So 6, 3, 6, 3. That will be a better choice, right? So what we will do is let's try to do a col 3, then a col 6, and then a col 3. Do you understand what exactly is happening here? So dot col 3 is the class name. By default, it is going to be a div. Plus will be a sibling operator in CSS. We are putting a col 6, and then col 3 here will give the next sibling. So I can put like something like also something like this, but column 1, 2, 3, something like this. Okay. Now if I save this and go back to we don't need this, we don't need this, we need this. So if I refresh this, I can see that there is column 1, column 2, and column 3. If I make this like a normal without any what do you call this, without any zooming, you can clearly see it's like this. Now I'm going to give background colors for these: BG primary, secondary, and primary. Again, we just need a differentiation, right? So you can clearly see that there are 3 columns of this width. So the same way, if I try to go to the background colors, there is also background gradient as well. We'll be looking into all these things. So there are like so many backgrounds. Okay, I'm just going to copy everything, and I'm going to add all these things here. So we have got only 10. So we'll just copy these 2 things and add it here. Now, if I press my middle mouse button and then drag it, it's going to drag me on all the lines. So I'm going to get rid of this dot here and change it to space, cut everything. Don't save it. Let's close it. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these things, paste it here, save it. And if I go back to my page and refresh it, it's going to show me in all the different colors. So this is something which I generally make to see how things are working. So there is a difference between 9 and 10 by any chance. Why are they displaying in the same colors? So this one is, okay, one is white, one is transparent. That is the reason. Great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try showing you another layout model, which is fluid model. So if I do container fluid instead of container, if I refresh the page, it's going to take up the whole width, but at the same time, it's going to keep up the same column 1, column 2, column 3, or all the 12 columns. So with that being said, if you see here, this column is 3 column width, and this column is 6 column width. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. and then this column is again 3 column width, which we have got it perfectly. So this is the basic grid structure that Bootstrap uses. So any doubts, any questions on Bootstrap grid, navbar, colors, what else is there? What else we went through? Then sections and other things we can easily do it. Any questions on these things? Shall we get both the both Akansha and Kanika on the call now? You can we take in for the questions right now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me put a interstitial. Okay, let me stop the screen sharing. I hope able to look at, yeah, perfect. Yeah. So we are live again. So hey, so what do you think about the session about the basics of, this is about basics of Bootstrap. I haven't taken this kind of a session before, because generally when I take anything related to portfolio, I'll just go directly jump in and start working on it and creating some kind of a nice layout and stuff. But this is the first time I took Bootstrap documentation and show how each things can be done. So what do you think, everyone? And what do you think, the Tech team?
Yeah, I think the basics should be clear to everyone now. Yeah.
Okay, so this, I'll just add this as Bootstrap grid in the in the Git, and I'm just pushing the Git code as well. So I believe everyone will have the access to the latest Git code too. Now I guess we can, yeah. So that's let me see. Oh wow, we are
We
getting
don't
good
have
feedback.
any doubts
That's
till
good.
now. It's good.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, like, we have 5 people right now, right? We need to select between 5 people. So we have Mudit, Hitesh, Vanshika, who
Mohit,
else? Mohit,
Anshu?
Anshu.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually,
So
these are the 5 who are actually, uh, answering and questioning.
you are all the active people here. Thanks for
Active,
being
yeah.
really active. And yeah, so top 5 active people. So we will do like kind of like um, a, a secret juggle, and we will get back to you with one person, and your name will be shared in the community, whether it is in Discord or WhatsApp. Yeah, it's up to Tech team, and then you will know, like, make sure you are there, and let's bang on. Okay, let's create your own portfolio, and we can also deploy it. I'm not sure how much we can do tomorrow, but I'm going to compress as much as possible from my side and try to get a good awesome session as today. Okay.
So we are again sharing the feedback link of our LinkedIn. So
Mm-hmm.
you all can go and share your feedbacks as well as the suggestions for the tomorrow's event. And if you want us to conduct more of such sessions, so let us know. You
Yeah,
can
do
also
follow the
contact
LinkedIn
us.
page.
Sure.
Yes, please. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, so that it motivates me to do a lot of things as well. Please hit on the subscribe too. Thank you. Anything
Yeah.
else would you like to conclude, or like say?
Join us back tomorrow
Yeah,
to
we will be
complete the
having the next
profile
session. Yeah, we will be having the next session on our YouTube.
So we will be
channel
going
by
there,
6.
not on my channel. So we are going to support their channel as well. So please come there, and don't forget my channel. Please click on subscribe as well. All right.
Yeah.
I hope it was really nice, and see you all. Have a nice day and stay safe. Make sure you're completely safe in this pandemic time, and take care of your health.
Yeah, we will be sharing all the links in the description.
We
You
will
can
do
check
it that.
out them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just sharing again. I'm just sharing it again.
Yeah, just quickly share all the links on the YouTube chat. I'll quickly put them on the link on the description as well. All right.
Yeah.
So we are going to the end. So bye bye, everyone.
See you tomorrow.